Patriots training camp, day 3 here at Gillette. That was Mike Vrabel before the walkthrough practice today. He said they're going to mix in some third downs, which I guess they're going through at a slow pace here, Keefe, as we watch.
It is a walkthrough.
From high above the field.
Emphasis on walk.
Yeah, he said, we started out okay yesterday, didn't finish as well as we started. And he also said they're going to fix and correct. That's some of the focus out there today. I like how Andrew Callahan described practice from the Boston Herald. He says, Patriots opening 11 on 11 today, running at a glacial pace, as you just described. Yep. No helmets, except Drake Maye has added a helmet. Maye's the only player I see in a helmet. Turt made a good point. Maybe he's got McDaniels in his ear?
Yeah, that could be.
So he's the only guy with a helmet out there that I see anyway, although as we found out yesterday, my eyesight's
weak.
Really neck and neck with Keefe for
a lot of guys
worst on the show.
A lot of guys rocking the sun hats.
I see a lot of bucket hats. A lot of bucket hats out there.
That's not bad.
Callahan says no helmets minus Maye. Players are in sneakers. It's a walkthrough. He says if you see any passing stats reported today, please report those beat writers. So he's saying don't
completion.
Don't see that one? Who was that? Was that Chisholm? He took it. Oh no, that's Henry. Take it to the house.
He literally pushed that like I think my daughter throws harder than that.
I think that would have been a touchdown. Yeah. I think if that's a game, that would have been a touchdown. Chalk went up for Hunter Henry. Yep. Drake Maye passing stat 1-for-1. T Dizzle.
Yep.
Nice.
Keeping ball security is job security, as we know, Jones.
Vrabel said though he thought they started yesterday pretty well, but they didn't finish.
No.
So I don't know. How'd you read in between the lines on that? Didn't seem overly thrilled with day 2. I thought day 1 was better than day 2 for being consistent.
Yeah, no, day 1 definitely seemed like there was the...
Yesterday was admittedly harder to read, though, because day 1, they at least had shoulder pads on. They're not fully padded. We think that's going to happen probably Monday. But, yesterday was just helmets. Today's even less than that. So that was the day 2 read into so far, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think yesterday by no means was a disaster. There were times over the last 4 years that some of the training camp reports, especially for the offense, that was a disaster.
Yep.
And, that needs to be better. Hell, even OTAs this year, there was talk it didn't look very good.
Yeah, good call.
Balls on the ground and interceptions and this, that, and the other thing. So it was way better than that. I would say, it was probably a step down from day 1. The intensity probably wasn't there as much, and I think that's kind of inevitable, though. They've literally gone from helmet and shoulder pads to just helmets to now nothing. They're going to be back on the practice field tomorrow, and then we believe Monday it's going to be full go. So I'm hoping that that's the best day. I'm hoping that that's where we see the most stuff. That's where you can really take the most away from it. So I would say Vrabel probably looks at yesterday as okay, a building block day. There's stuff you can take from it. There's stuff that you can improve on. And I'm sure as a coach, he'll take it.
And it could just be it could just be a coaching point to roll it over. Hey, we didn't finish great yesterday, so just harp on that. No, Monday will be, or the first padded practice, whenever that is, will be the real day to read into. Yeah. We're taking our little observations. I'm not saying they're irrelevant, but I think you got to put it in a proper context that's unpadded.
But I think the emphasis for Vrabel seems to be have a professional team and don't screw up all those little details, which is how you end up losing close games. And to sort of compare it to another sport, the Red Sox are so bad at some of those things, right? Yep. Do the Red Sox, run into outs? Do they throw to the wrong? Do they overthrow cutoff men? Do a lot of the fundamentals of the baseball team seem to be pretty poor, and we talk about it on a weekly basis. I think early on in camp, that's what Vrabel's clearly trying to do.
I think you're right. I mean, the Red Sox have way more talent than the Patriots.
Yes,
way more talented team. But are they a smart team? No.
So Vrabel's all right, that's the thing. That's what you really need to do when you don't have all the talent, because the Red Sox still, without all the fundamentals, might still find themselves into the playoffs.
Yep.
This Patriots team needs to be one of the best, one of the smartest teams in order to maximize, let's call it what it is, their lack of talent. They're going to have to beat some of those teams that might have more talent on paper than them because maybe they are better with clock management, or they're just better just knowing the rules. How many years did we say that about Bill Belichick teams? We look at the other team, how did they not know that? Or how did the coach screw that up?
Yeah, and inversely, how many times did we say that last year about Mayo?
100%. Every week.
On the other side of the coin. Yep. So, that's important to watch. So we'll continue to monitor this very much a walkthrough.
Yeah. And I think they're going to be done at
today
11, right? It's a shorter practice.
Turp already told us he's bailing in 10 minutes. He's like, I got to get out of here. I got to go down. I think we're getting our first TED Talk today.
I think we're getting a TED Talk.
So
he's mystery player.
Yeah, mystery player.
But we know who it is.
Not to be confused.
We know who it is.
We know who it is.
Right.
We're not going to tell you.
No, because we don't want to spoil it. You're going to tune in to find out.
And even sometimes we spoil it, we're wrong about that.
That's also true. Maybe we're wrong. So let's just keep it to ourselves.
That's true. So Turp is going to abandon us here in short order. Separate story, Keefe, and I did not seek this out. As we pointed out, I was just minding my own business.
Yeah.
Sitting there just scrolling through the old Twitter machine.
Doom scroll.
And I see, this is a doom scroll maybe for some Patriots fans. I see John Machado?
Sure. I think you got it.
Mahota.
Manny Machado?
Machota. Covers the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, very good.
Followed by prominent national reporters like Jay Glazer, Adam Schefter.
On the boys' beat.
He says Cowboys quarterback Joe Milton has been surprised by how much Dak Prescott has helped him. Quote, Dak is a great leader. All respect to him. He literally goes out of his way to help me. Separate answer, he says, I've been in another building, or a separate portion of the answer.
Yeah.
I've been in another building. I know how that goes. It's just very different over here.
We read that quote differently.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
Oh, how'd you read it?
Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett was the one veteran because Joe Milton and Drake Maye came in together with the same amount of NFL experience. They walk into the locker room. They have a guy that you thought would be a mentor and somebody that was really a placeholder for the starting job. And you thought maybe he doesn't have the talent, doesn't have the physical skills that Maye has or Joe Milton has, but maybe he'd be that guy that could sort of be like another coach in the room, right? You looked up to him, and maybe Joe Milton came in and was surprised that, like, wow, Brissett's really just kind of going for this job and not helping either of us out.
Well,
that's how I read it.
Look, I said this last year. I think Brissett was a sneaky bad teammate.
Agreed, and I think this is further proof of that.
Okay, so you might be 100% right. Could be about Jacoby Brissett. Okay? I don't see any comments about veterans here. I just say all respect to him. He literally goes out of his way. I've been in another building. You know how that goes.
I get it. No, he
here.
doesn't say so. So either one of us could be right because I know you're talking about Drake Maye. Well, I'm talking about Brissett because I also think Dak Prescott
this time of year.
Yeah, he's been in the league way longer than Drake Maye.
Yep.
And Drake Maye wasn't even the starter until over a month into the season.
Sure.
And then I think if
he was the start of the majority of the season.
No, he was. But if you're Joe Milton, you're not asking Drake Maye, hey, you know, when a team's playing like cover two, like what do you look for or whatever? Like you'd probably ask Brissett that. Mm-hmm. And maybe Brissett was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, kid. Like I got a job to do. Whereas Dak Prescott's like, here's what I would do. Here's how I would attack a defense.
Well,
that's my read on it.
Look, I acknowledge, and so we do read it differently. Yeah. I acknowledge, though, it could 100% be about Brissett. Do you acknowledge it could be about Maye?
Yeah, sure.
So who's Joe Milton talking about? I'm interested in that.
Yeah, we need a follow-up down there by my guy Manny Machado. He needs to go ask. But I think it's Jacoby Brissett, and it also strengthens your argument from last year that this guy was a bad teammate. He came out and he had that interview week 13 maybe, so he'd already lost the starting job, and he was talking about all the stuff that he went through. Remember, he's like, "Oh, I've gone through so many. People don't even know what I went through." It's like, dude, your team stink. You stink.
Did they refresh my memory? Did they strip him of his captaincy too? They take the C off his jersey at one point. Remember that?
Maybe.
Yes,
at the end of the year, it was not on there.
It was kind of a gray area. Mayo's like, no, he's still a captain, but it wasn't on his jersey anymore.
I'm telling you, that's more evidence that it was Brissett.
Interesting. So, look, it could be Brissett. I fully acknowledge it could be Brissett. Who do you guys think Joe Milton's talking about? Brissett? Maye? Do you even care? Are you done with Joe Milton? I still don't love what I've seen out of Josh Dobbs through 2 days. Like, I still kind of wish he was on the team, especially since you got nothing in return for him.
I think that Woolridge has a legit chance to pass Dobbs, based on what we've seen from Dobbs.
Let's go, Dice.
Yeah.
Let's go, Dice.
That's his guy.
Woolridge is going to be out there. So you guys can discuss Joe Milton v. Drake Maye. Who exactly was Joe Milton talking about? Well, we get a follow-up on that. 617-779-7937. You guys can jump in there. Meanwhile, it's Friday, which means we have a Top 5 Friday. The Top 5 current New England Patriots. I think the top of this list should be fairly obvious. I think after you get past the first 1 or 2 spots, a lot of question marks.
It's tough.
And a lot of room for disagreement. Who are your top 5 Patriots? You can send them in on the text line, 617-779-7937. Twitch as well, twitch.tv/BostonWEEI. And on socials, at Jones and Keefe, at Keefe21, at JonesWEEI. We'll get to your top 5s, and we'll give you ours coming up next.